Hi there! Welcome to What is Islam Academy. Let's learn about Islam together.
Let's begin with a question that shakes many people's assumptions. Did Muslims build Al-Aqsa on top of the Jewish temple deliberately to erase Jewish history? Is Islam guilty of occupying a holy site that doesn't belong to it? Let's break this myth piece by piece with facts, history, and logic, in the style of Sheikh Ahmed Deedat and Dr. Zakir Naik. We will follow evidence, primary sources, and accepted historical timelines. No rhetoric, just history. Stay with us as we examine centuries, not slogans. We begin with the historical record. First, historical evidence shows that the original Jewish temple, the first temple, was destroyed by the Babylonians. The second temple was destroyed by the Romans in 70 CE. For centuries after, the site was left in ruins, at times neglected and used as a dump during parts of the Byzantine era. When Muslims arrived in 637 CE, led by Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab, they entered a city with a ruined sacred precinct. They cleaned and honored the space again. So did Muslims build over, or did they revive a sacred site for monotheistic worship? Historical sources, both Muslim and non-Muslim, agree the Roman destruction predates Islam by centuries. This timeline is central to understanding the claim of building over. When Muslims came, they found ruins, not a standing temple. In short, destruction by others, centuries of ruin, then Muslim restoration. Next, what Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa actually means, and what it includes. Many think Al-Aqsa is just one building, the Dome of the Rock or the Grey Mosque. The term is broader. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa refers to the whole Haram area, about 144,000 square meters, covering the dome, mosque buildings, courtyards, and surrounding structures. It includes the Dome of the Rock, the mosque building, and the open courtyards. Muslims did not hide the site. They preserved it as a place of worship. The site links Abraham, Solomon, Jesus, and Muhammad, a shared sacred memory. Preservation work over centuries kept the sanctity and utility of the space. Records show continuous Muslim care for the precinct. Today it remains central to Muslim devotional life. But why does the Qur'an name this place? That leads to our next point. Why is Al-Aqsa important in Islam? Because it is named in the Qur'an. Subhanallah azra bi'abdihi laylan muna lamasjidil harami ila lamasjidil aqsa laudi barakna hawlahu. The verse records the Isra and Miraj, the Prophet's night journey and ascension, linking the place to divine event. Al-Aqsa was not chosen randomly. It is described as blessed ground in Revelation. For Muslims, the placement is divinely appointed, connecting prophets and prophetic history. This is why Al-Aqsa holds a unique place in Islamic devotion and memory. Having established divine naming and continuity, we address the charge of deliberate erasure. Did Muslims erase the Jewish temple deliberately? Let's examine the reality. The claim depends on an assumption, that a standing temple existed when Muslims arrived. The reality, there was no standing temple when Muslims entered. It had been destroyed centuries earlier. Even non-Muslim historians record the Roman destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. Ahmed Deedat would ask, how can you destroy what is already destroyed? They cleaned ruins and honored the space. They did not destroy a functioning synagogue or temple. Early records show Muslim custodianship and charitable endowments (WKF) to maintain the precinct. This is not erasure. It is stewardship over a ruined holy place. The timeline matters. Destruction by Romans, centuries of ruin, then restoration by Muslims. Accusations that Muslims stole or erased ignore this timeline. Next, how early Muslim rulers treated other faiths and holy places. Caliph Umar refused to pray inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to avoid turning it into a mosque. This was an early principle, respect and protection of other communities. Muslims under Islamic rule allowed Jews, who were previously banned by Christians in places, to return and live near the holy site. This is recorded in multiple historical sources, protection and coexistence under Muslim governance. These are historical facts, not propaganda. Early Islamic administrations documented protections for people of the book. Communities lived and worshipped side by side in many periods of history. This complexity is often missing in simplistic narratives. The record shows restraint, protection, and restored access, not deliberate erasure. Now, the Dome of the Rock and its purpose. The Dome of the Rock was built by Caliph Abd al-Malik in 691 CE to commemorate the Prophet's ascension, Miraj. It was not built to erase the temple, but to mark an event central to Islamic faith. The rock beneath is believed to be the place where Prophet Abraham prepared to sacrifice his son, a shared Abrahamic symbol. This memory is shared across faiths in different forms, and the dome honors that memory from an Islamic perspective. The architecture and inscriptions focus on Islamic theology and commemoration, not the erasure of other traditions. Over centuries, it became a focal point of Muslim devotion connected to the Isra. Built 600+ years after the Roman destruction, the dome commemorates a spiritual event, not a territorial erasure. Finally, the broader historical and theological frame. So did Muslims steal the temple site? No, they respected the sacredness. They re-established it for worship of the one God. They kept it open for Jews and Christians under protection. They preserved the memory of Abraham, Solomon, Jesus, and Muhammad in one place. As Dr. Zakir Naik would say, if the same God sent all prophets, why can't one place honor all of them? This shows continuity in monotheism, not a one-time conquest to erase history. If this challenges what you believed, stay with us. There is more to uncover. Join us next time. Al-Aqsa is not a Muslim conquest in the sense of erasing previous faiths. It is part of a continuous line of monotheism, a single place that preserves memory and devotion across prophets. This episode adhered to Ma'iri, script in English, Quranic text presented in Arabic, no music and respectful visuals. Sources: Qur'an, early histories, archaeological reports. See description for citations. Assalamu alaikum. Until next time.